Hello and welcome to the second video, especially for YouTube, for the Shadows. So I am Mr. Shade 138, and hello YouTube. And we're going to talk today about the remainder of the spoilers. We're going to go over the patch notes, and we're going to go over what I think the changes are going to be from the new cards coming out tomorrow. What I think is going to be good, what I think is going to be mediocre, and how we're going to change the meta and what we're going to be looking at after patch 3.8, after the new patch comes out. So, um, first thing, I was completely out of nowhere. Out of nowhere came Annie. And anyone that's played League of Legends knows that feeling. Just little girl appears from bush, drops bear on you, you die. So, out of nowhere came Annie. I didn't, my brain did not equate all of these students that are quite clearly students of the Ravenbloom Conservatory, did not equate it with Annie, the demon child. Um, and, They even with them being all Noxus, I did not pick up on that because I'm apparently kind of stupid. But let's look at Annie. Annie is a one drop. She is a 0-2. So one drop 0-2. Let's talk about just the stat line for a second. She gets geeked by now not on turn one. If turn one she comes down and does her thing, they have to spend turn two killing her because okay, so let's talk about Magical Christmas Land with Annie. All right, let's talk about Magical Christmas Land with Annie. All right, so Annie attacks. Annie comes down turn one. Annie attacks. Either she's doing 2 damage or she's killing a 1-2 or a 2-1. Those are pretty much all of the one drops. There are no 3 toughness one drops in the game. Let me double check that in case I am stupid. Somebody's going to go in the comments and be like, oh yeah, well, this is also in the game, you idiot. So let me double check that real quick, but I want to say there's no 3 damage, there's no 3 toughness 1 drops in the game. I'm not doxing myself. There's my email, so you guys can have that. Email me, please. I want your opinions. Anyway, so let me double check. There's no 3 damage 1 drops in the game. Also, speaking of the game, let me switch over to the screen that I have the game on. So, speaking of the game, we have we have broken the game, and they know. See, we broke the quest button. Oops, and we're working on it. So they know they broke the game. Let's go run over here. Collection cards. Show unowned. Grab this. 1 mana cost. Um, 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana, 1 mana. Yeah, see, even the Ravenous Butcher, if they play into the Ravenous Butcher, is 2 health. Aha! See, I knew I would find one. So, Adaptron. Now, Adaptron does not kill Annie. But yes, Adaptron, this card that is rare and no one uses, does profitably block Annie. Anybody else? Like, no? No, because Krusty Codger is a 2-2. Dragon Chow profitably blocks Annie, and I should have remembered Dragon Chow to be honest. That's because I'm stupid. Yeah, Dragon Chow profitably blocks Annie. And people do use Dragon Chow. So that's like a worst case scenario, is that you get Dragon Chowed. Other than that, everything dies to her. I have Navari Blaze Scouts. Why are they grayed out? Why are the Navari Blaze Scouts? What did they do to the Navari Great? Why do I not have any? I have 3 of these. Sure, I'll buy some because apparently I don't have them. I guess that's weird. Okay, so apparently I don't have them. I don't have octopuses either, but that's fine. No. So you have two, one that's not played at all, and one that's very rarely played. Technically, the Shadow Fiend actually kills her, but I don't see anybody using the Shadow Fiend as a one drop to kill Annie unless it's a very specific circumstance. I don't think the Shadow drop is a strong enough one drop to rate killing Annie. Um, yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. So you have two profitable blocks against Annie. That's all. So she comes down, she does her thing, she gets a tick higher on her own business. Um, turn two, burn out whatever they have. Double burn spell. Double burn spell would actually be really good. And Blade's Edge is Blade's Edge fast? Blade's Edge is fast. So yeah, I guess you run Annie runs 3 Blade's Edges just strictly for the fact that she does once she crows up, I guess um they do start doing stuff to where there's a lot of things like her spell we'll get to in a second kills things that have even been damaged at all. So Annie Swain maybe. But yeah, so if you cast 6 fast, slow, or skills, and again, her attack automatically gives her 1 skill, um, she levels up. When she levels up, she becomes a 1/3, not a bunch of stat buff. But she does create a Tivers, and he's 6. And they realize that you're not going to do this before 6. You're not. It's basically impossible. So that's why Tivers being a 6 is fine. Um, Attack, deal 3 damage to my blocker, and stun it. If it's dead or gone, deal 3 damage to the enemy nexus instead. So Annie, after flipping, cannot be killed on the attack, basically. Because she's going to stun her blocker. So she can't be blocked to death. Once you get her leveled up. Tibbers! Tibbers! 5/5 Fearsome per 6. Play, he gets to stun an enemy, and then he deals 2 damage to all stunned or damaged enemies. So, that has the potential for a big shift. The Molten Shields are what Annie does, and Power Classic Arrival is Tibbers' skill. Although I do love the Teddy Bear on Fire Tibbers' skill, Power Classic Arrival, which is really cool. Her spell is Disintegrate. Pick a unit. The next time it takes damage this round, kill it. Create an Annie in your deck. So this makes Blade's Edge a 1 mana kill spell. So you're spending 3 to kill something, but it's to kill anything. So that's not bad. Also, barrier blocks it. So this is fast. So it's not amazing, but it's not horrible. If you stack your stuff right and they play without protection, Disintegrate's alright. I don't think it's great. Like, I don't think it's amazing, but it's alright. Ravenbloom Conservatory is interesting. So, it's a 1 mana landmark. But if you play it on turn 1, it's got countdown 10. And then it creates the tie bulk in hand. And then it states, I advance 1 round for each fast or slow spell or skill you played this game. Now that's you played, that's when you play it. It advances that. So if you played more than 10 spells, you play 1 mana, you pay 1 mana, you get a Tibulk. Tybulk. Whatever. But the weird thing about that is if you play it on 1, you have to wait the 10 turns to get it. So you're definitely not incentivized to play this on 1. You would have to be a moron. So, Tibulk, the guy that comes out of this Raven and Bloom Conservatory. He's a 6 mana 6/6 with Overwhelm. When he's summoned, grant allies everywhere +1/+0. And for the rest of the game, all your spells and skills deal 1 extra damage. Not bad. He's complementary to Annie. I mean, he's of course going to be. I think him and Tibbers are the top of her deck. I would not put more than 1, maybe 2 Ravenbloom Conservatories in there, because you don't want to be spending 6 mana on stuff. You want to be spending 2, 3 mana. Spells, burn, little bitty units, punk people out. Alright, so moving away from Annie's cards. I think Annie's good. I think Annie will not take over games, but I think she will. Earlier, I had said aggro was going to lose a lot, and Annie makes up that ground. Annie gives aggro back its punch and its push in this. Everybody else is really slow mid-range, and Annie wants to fight. Annie wants to fight, just like in League. She wants to get out there and she wants to throw tibbers on people's face and F people up. So, the 4 new cards, the last 4 cards of the set introduced today, are Petricite Pillar, 2 mana, 2 mana, Demacian Landmark. Now, I'm going to say this. This is one of the very, very few landmarks I agree with, because it does not really lose you ground. Yeah, you're not doing anything on turn 2, but or you're doing less when you play this, but the effect is so useful in a Demacian deck where you care about just getting down bodies. You want beef on the board. You don't want people playing spells into your beef and picking them off. You want beef on the board. You want to get it bigger and bigger and bigger, and you want to smash things. So, all spells cost 2 more, countdown 2. Now, they have this effect stuck to a body, but I mean, you got to get that body to stick to the board. And all of them are relatively expensive. This is a 2 mana. Spells cost 2 more, countdown 2. Gives you their turn and your turn to this turn and next turn to get that up. So it gives you a turn off of spells. I mean, when you play it, counts down to 1 on theirs, counts down to 0 on yours. So really, it stops them from playing spells on their turn, and you can play it where it's the last thing you do and it only affects them. So I mean, if you want to play spells, like put one of these in a Lux deck for like your winning turn or something like that, you can do that too. Obedient Drake Hound, 2 mana, Noxus, 4/1. Got quick attack, but it can attack or defend. And when an ally attacks, he automatically attacks. Is this good? It's going to change how people think. It's going to... I have seen a lot of these cards like this in other games. This is the first time it's been in League of Legends and Legends of Runeterra. I've seen a lot of cards like this in other games. They generally have an effect if they can get down when they need to get down. If you have 3 of these, you can get it out on turn 2. Attack with a 2/1. Like, for example, the double agent, the boom agent, the one that is 1 mana, 2/1, Noxus, Legion Saboteur. You can attack with the Legion Saboteur, and this, my God, are you doing it? That's doing it. That's what your deck wants to do. So turn 2, turn 1, play Legion Saboteur, and you want to be on evens. So if you can even, and you can turn 1 Legion Saboteur, turn 2 this, attack with both. This has quick attack. Your Legion Saboteur is still doing 2 damage, so you're killing something. You're getting in and you're doing what your deck wants to do. You're forcing trades, and you're forcing unfavorable trades on turn 2. Um, Normally, the best this deck can do is force trades on turn 2, but forcing unfavorable trades on turn 2 is a big thing. So I expect this to be a player in the aggro decks. Again, like I said, they kind of came back and they took everything I'd said about not pushing aggro and said, "Oh, really?" and came back and did some heavy aggro push right here at the end. Paparo the Great, 3 mana, Bandle City, Yordle. When I'm summoned, he gets to create a random Yordle in hand. Attack, grant other allied Yordles +1/+1. He's a 2/2. This is another example of Bandle City just having too much value. Number 1, random Yordle. Okay, not a random Yordle follower, a random Yordle. Meaning that technically you can pick this dude up until he gives you Teemo, until he gives you Fizz, until he gives you Gnar. Okay, all of these dudes are Yordles. Alright? All of them. Gnar is a Yordle. Teemo, Kennen, all Yordles. Yordle. Ziggs, Tristana, Poppy, all Yordles. Begar, Heimerdinger. So again, he can give you, yes, it's a 1 in, oh, F me. Hold on. I didn't do the math before I did this video. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 48, 52. So it's a 1 in 60, actually exactly a 1 in 60 chance to get one of those. But it's a 1 in 60 chance to get exactly the one you want. If you're talking about just get a champ with this dude, it's a 11 in 60. So what is that? Almost a 20% chance to get almost a 20% chance to get a champ. Some of them being 1 mana. 3 of them are 1 mana. That's ridiculous. I has 3 drop that gets me 3 drop champ. Gets Poppy. The swings are too big. So it should be a Yordle follower number 1. Or if it's not, Poro Poro Herder. If you behold a Yordle, create a Yordle. I'm cool with that. They really need to slow Bandle City down. I think it's the way to save the game. Is slowing Bandle City down, making Bandle City not as good, making Bandle City not as much of a threat, not as much of a giant pain in the ass as they are. The Gray Apothecary, I'm assuming that they missed putting the landmark on this. I don't know if they'll get that fixed by tomorrow, if this is just Mobalytics, but this, it's backgrounded like a landmark, so I'm like 99.995% sure this should have a landmark type. So 2 mana, Noxus, landmark, assumedly, the Gray Apothecary. When an ally with 5+ power dies, create a random follower with 5+ power in hand. So the problem with the Reputation deck has been diminishing returns. Unlike all of the other decks, especially Vandal City, the Reputation deck does not have value. There's no value in it. Even getting the reduced cost that the Reputation cards give you, you only have 40 cards, 32 cards, and there's no recursion in the deck. There's no bringing stuff back from the graveyard. There's no create 47,000 cards in your deck naturally. So there's no recursion. There's no inevitability. There's no value. So these decks were constantly getting outvalued. I think the Gray Apothecary is exactly what they need. It is low cost, and yes, it's a spin of the wheel. It's random. It's not going to make the deck tier 1. It's not even going to make the deck tier 2. But will it make the deck playable? Probably. Will I try it? More than likely. I think that this solves a lot of LeBlanc, Sivir, all of those reputation-y types. This solves their problem, especially LeBlanc. LeBlanc is almost playable with this card. If they would give LeBlanc a 2 mana buff, I mean a 1 mana, 1 toughness buff, she would be playable. I don't know why they didn't buff her toughness last time. Buffing the fact that her mirror flips with her is strong. It's decent. It still doesn't make her playable. Still very much a dies to Doomblade situation. She dies to too much. It's too easy to kill her, especially now with Annie. It's just too easy to kill her and other cards that do things like that. Like Annie can just murk LeBlanc. If she gets you down to LeBlanc, Annie will kill LeBlanc. Like 1v1. And that's stupid. Okay, so my overall thoughts. I think I think the origins are cool. I think going back and adding some really strong, really good cards. I've already seen some really cool deep builds. That is probably what I plan to play tomorrow. Is see what we did to deep, see if we've made deep good enough. Play that and maybe some Malawi tomorrow. I won't be making a video, but I guarantee you I will probably be playing this on Sunday or the Path of Champions. Path of Champions, obviously, a big draw for me. I love the Path of Champions. I'm really excited to see what they do with it. I will be picking up all the Tellstones. Uh, so the new set's coming out. I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be a good set. I think it'll revitalize stuff. I think the first champ I will pick up will be Alawi. Eloy, however you pronounce her name. I don't ever remember. I've heard it. I've heard it. I played the Ruined King. I've heard them pronounce her name in my ears, but I cannot ever remember how to pronounce her name. So Illy over here is probably who I'm going to pick up first. I like the spawn. I like her abilities, and I don't know who I'm going to pair her with, but I definitely see building a deck with her, maybe with her and I think her and Braum could be fun. Kind of just making 3/3s and tentacles and making people deal with them. I think her and Braum could be fun. I don't know yet. I will have to sit down and I will be doing some deck building tomorrow. Really digging into it and looking and seeing what's fun and seeing what to play. Um, I will almost certainly not be doing a stream tomorrow. I may do a stream Thursday. So check on my stream. Keep an eye on it. I may do a stream Thursday late. Um, just playing some of this stuff. Maybe. Maybe. Don't quote me on anything. Keep an eye on my Twitter, my Facebook, all that good stuff. Um, and actually today when this goes up, this will go up Wednesday morning right before the set comes out. And today I am almost certainly not going to be playing a. I'm recording this on Tuesday. Now you know the secret. I almost certainly will not play Wednesday night on stream, but don't quote me on that. That may change. So, my favorite card of the set. My favorite card of the set of the expansion. I've also seen some Winding Light decks with Nightfall. I think it'll be interesting to see if he's the finisher Nightfall needed. Is he the hero Nightfall needed? Um, I've also seen some everywhere decks with Legion Deserter. Legion Deserter is pretty high on my list of cards that I like from this set. But card of the set, I think it has to be one of the Telstones, and I think it has to be Ionian Telstone. It has two strong and one extremely situational ability, and I think that really, I think this captures the flavor of Three Sisters the most. Um, Three Sisters has two strong and one very situational ability that saves a unit, and this has a very similar feel, and does things that Ionia likes to do. So I really think Ionian Telstones, oddly enough, one mana card, is probably my favorite card of the set. I don't like calling champs my favorite cards because I think all the champs are awesome in their own right, and I don't want to say I have a favorite champ. I may play some champs more often than others, but I don't want to say I have a favorite champ. So let's go over patch notes real quick before we go. Um, so we've gone over the cards, and then this is how origins work. Each of the Rune Terran, which is what they're calling them, they're Rune Terran champions. They do not have a home world, a home. They're Rune Terran. They just come from the world of Runeterra. They don't have a home country. Right now, it's just Jin. Right now, it's just Jin and Bard, obviously, but we're expecting to get more of these cards, along with new origins. Um, so, when you're deck building with origins, when you add Jin to your deck, you can add any follower with a skill. So, if they have a skill, that little yellow dot, we can add them. Sister Cloudfield, we can't. She doesn't have a skill. They also all have an effect. It says some origins, but right now all of the origins have an effect. Both of them that we've received so far have an effect. Uh, the Virtuoso, as long as you behold him, you get that Lotus Trap. And you have to behold Jin. So that is a specific. See, even if you start in your deck, you still get this, but you only get the Lotus Trap when you behold Jin. So you have to have him in your hand. Also, this is a bit of a tell. So basically, this kind of makes you want to play Jin as fast as you can once you get him in your hand. Because if you're holding him in your hand and you're playing Lotus Traps, then they know you have him in your hand. So just saying, you know, if you play that third spell instead of playing Jin, they may be able to make an effect for that and get you to discard, like especially like if he's the only card in your hand. If they play an Aloof Travelers, they may get Jin out of your hand. So we also got some new keywords in Spawn, which, like we were talking about, you summon a 1/1 tentacle. If you already have one, give it +1/+1 for each spawn. So when you spawn 3, if you don't have a 1/1 tentacle, you get a 1/1 tentacle, and it becomes a 3/3 tentacle. So that's cool. And then you have the boons. This is the opposite of traps. So right now the only boon we have is Chime. I'm hoping we get some more of these. I like the effect. And it grants a random ally in hand +1/+1. We've already gone over these. Challenge quest decks. New challenges and quests been added to introduce the keywords, obviously. Additional AI decks added in the expansion have been added to the Versus AI opponents pool, which is cool because I actually do play the Versus AI opponents to test my deck before I actually go anywhere with it. Because if I can't beat Sparky in 2 out of 3 games, I'm not taking the deck out there and playing against the person. So, Passive Champions 2.0. We have 2 new regions, Noxus and Demacia, which is awesome. Permanent progression systems, we've already gone over these. Legend levels, champion star levels, and revamped and expanded champion levels. Unique champion adventures, world adventures to test your power and skill with any champion. It won't fit in all the patch notes, so they have a video here we're not going to watch. We've already gone over this. Card updates. They're not doing a balance patch. But apparently, pirates are just a little too OP. So they're gonna F with that. And they're effing with two of my favorite cards. I do play pirates a significant bit. They said it's easier to remove them being spells and blocking, make it more difficult, really difficult to play Demolitionist without using a unit on the board, especially in the case of Demolitionist targeting Crackshot. We recognize these changes are coming out alongside Annie, and do have the potential to impact her decks, but we're confident that Annie and her pals are going to be fine, but we're keeping an eye out. What this means is they don't give a crap if Annie runs in, you run a Noxus Bilgewater deck, it's going to be nerfed. It's pre-nerfed. Before they put out Annie, they pre-nerfed the Noxus Bilgewater decks. To be fair, Noxus Bilgewater is probably not that great, even though Bilgewater does have a lot of direct damage spells, and Annie wants that. I think there's enough direct damage spells uh, in Noxus or in other things that work. And yeah, I mean, like I said, she's gonna want Noxus, but at this point, you just don't run Crackshot Corsair and Imperial Demolitionist. They're better cards to run. So Crackshot Corsair goes from being a 1-2 to a 1-1. Is this going to impact her play? It does remove the line that is pretty good, and I've used repeatedly of turn 1 Crackshot, attack. They don't have a 1-drop. We attack. We deal 2 to the enemies. And also, it removes the ability to just open attack with her or attack into like a 1-1. Because if they have a 1-1, then you attack into it and you kill it. Even if they're going to get a 1-1 spider off of it, like it's the either of the two death triggers. Okay, cool. I still got a damage on you. Yeah, my Corsair's 1-1 now, but it negates those attacks. It makes her overall weaker. Um, it makes her much more of a support card, and it does, like they said, shut off the line of turn 1 Corsair into turn 2 Demolitionist, being able to put out 2 damage on turn 1, 2 damage on turn 2, without losing a unit. And then Demolitionist goes from being a 2-3 to a 2-2, making her easier to remove. She can just get murked. She now dies to Doomblade. Um, Pulse Fire event of rewards. So we got some cool rewards. I'm not gonna get any of this stuff. I don't spend money. So I'm gonna get like 2 of these. Um, because again, all of them require the premium pass, and I don't purchase the premium pass. And now if I did spend money on this game, the way I would do it would probably be to purchase the premium pass. I'm going to be honest. Um, but right now, don't. Um, so the events there, region roads. Starting with the Pulse Fire event, we're making some changes to reward allocation and region roads. But first, some contexts. Players who completed every region road have had to wait for new expansions to continue earning rewards on them through extensions. Now, this is interesting to me because I've been playing this game for 2-ish years, a year and a half. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%. But I've been playing pretty steadily for 2 years, 2.5 years, year and a half, something like that. Um, Not since it came out. And it came out, we just had a birthday. We just had a birthday. We have a birthday event here, and I'm an idiot. Okay, so this is their second anniversary. So, okay, apparently I have been playing since beta. Shut up. But I did take a break. I took about a 4 to 5 month break between really early. And so apparently I've only been playing for about a year and a half. And I knew I got in early. I didn't know how early I got in. Shut up. But I do play pretty religiously, and I do have all the rune roads, all the region roads, except for Bandle City. Bandle City's on 7 of 40. I do have all the region roads completed. Um, just because I do play and I make sure I get my quests. This is again goes to show you guys if you don't play this game, it is very, very easy to get a lot of stuff. I don't spend money on this game. I don't. I do have Prime Gaming, so that gives me a free Epic card every now and again, like once a month. But if you go and look, let me go to my main real quick. Okay, let me go to my account. So I have 2,734 cards, and everything except for one region road complete. And my collection here, if you go to my collection, I have 99% of the Freljord because they just added cards to Freljord. Um, I had 100% of the Freljord, so I have to go buy whatever that is. I have 99% of the Freljord. I had 92% of Bilgewater. Um, and everything else is 80-ish, with 73 being in Shurima, because that's the last road I finished, and I haven't started buying champs out of it yet. Honestly, the champs that I want in Shurima I have, but I'll probably go pick up the champs again eventually. And then I haven't finished Bandle City, and I still have 50% of the cards because Bandle City's OP and broken BS. And then my mastery guys, I have Gangplank. Again, this shows you I play a lot champions. All of them, almost all of them, have some mastery, have some experience. Most like Zed, I really only play Zed in. Now Zed is one of my favorite champs in Path Champions. Um, I have other people I prefer to play, like Sweaty Spiders, when I'm playing aggro. So yeah, it's really easy to get into, and it's really easy to do well, guys. Or do okay, have fun. I mean, it's not about winning or losing. It's about having fun. Um, so new players already have. Sorry, professional gamer here. New players already have a lot of region roads to work through after starting the game. And what this means here is they expect a influx of new or returning players with Path of Champions 2.0, which is cool. I hope they're right, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if they start going out there and really pimping their stuff, we'll see. We're adding more free nodes to event passes without increasing the overall time required to complete them. And we're no longer going to be extending region roads. This change should allow established players to continue earning free rewards during events, and the newer players can benefit from both the existing region roads and the expanded selection of free nodes on event passes. So what this means is they're making the event passes more. I don't know. We'll see what they do with this. I don't know what they're going to do with this. I was a little worried about this. I'm going to be honest because this again affects me personally. So I was a little worried about this, but we're going to see how this goes down. New champion skins. Again, I don't spend money on this, and mainly because these are just mostly JPEGs. But I do love some of them. They're really, really cool. Some of them are really, really cool. Pulsefire Jin. That's Now this is an animation, so it's a level up animation, so it's really pretty cool. This is Caitlyn's. You know, here's Caitlyn's. Here's Caitlyn's level up animation. That is the biggest gun in the world. Um, so that's pretty cool. And then again, these are his. Like they're cool. I will say that. I really will say they're cool. Poor Aphelios does not get. Poor Aphelios does not get a new level up animation. All his stuff, all his weapons though do get upgrades, so that's pretty cool looking. And Thresh also just alt art, and his pull looks all shiny and blue now. And Lucian alt art. So and then Akshan. Um, Akshan looks cool. Very Very interesting alt art. And then the board is the Chronosphere. New Guardians, you have Tivers, you have Pulsefire Tivers, and you have Pulsefire Chip. Card backs, Pulsefire Virtuoso, Pulsefire Twins, Vi and Jinx. Well, Pulsefire siblings, rather, they're not twins. Pulsefire Rogue, Akshan, Pulsefire Truth Seeker. Uh, what did I say? I just said Lucian. I'm an idiot. And then Scroll of Runeterra. Earned by you get this card back for just having completed an adventure in the Path of Champions. You get this card back by having defeated Gangplank, and you get the nice shiny gold one if you actually defeated Victor, who was the leader of the end of the Path of Champions 1.0. I have not actually defeated Victor with any of my guys, so I'm not going to get this shiny, but it'll be all right. I'll live through it. New emotes, meh. Again, I'm not a big fan of emotes. I can take them or leave them, and I will like the fact that the computer emotes at me has made me be able to take emotes a lot better. So you have the Time Walkers bundle. You get your champion blasters, blood. You get Deadly Fire deck, which is Jin and Annie. I guess that's a thing. Lead with fire and finesse alongside this deadly duo. Devastate the enemy nexus, combining Jin's brutal spellcasting and Annie's fire outbursts. Okay. Um, Eloy Bard. Yeah. They are getting rid of expeditions. I did not finish my expeditions. I didn't. I don't care. It's fine. Whatever. I'm not. There were people in there really playing, like tryharding, and I was not. I was not up for tryharding the last couple. Yeah. I was not up for tryharding the last couple weeks. I'll be honest. Closing a curious journey. A hand counter has been added when clicking to expect your deck end game. Let's go see. A lot of these little quality of life changes already change. So let's see if this is still here. So decks. Let's grab creations. Share, favorite, delete. Let's see, maybe if I go into edit deck. What this? This thing down here, I don't know what this is. I mean, this is 6 champs, 40 cards, and regions. So they now have a thing for regions down here, which they didn't. They did not have a thing for regions. I don't see a thing for hand counter. That's what it says. It says there's supposed to be a hand counter. So we'll see. We'll watch to see what the F that means. I'm not 100% certain even what it means to have a hand counter when you inspect your deck. I mean, like, I know that Mobalytics and stuff will show you, like, a randomly generated hand whenever you're looking at a deck. Like, you can hit, show me a hand, and it will, like, give you an average opening hand. And that may be what they're talking about. Not sure. We will see. Man, I'm dropping frames. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I'm dropping frames. I gotta get that fixed. I really do apologize, guys. Um, Bug fixes. I need to bug fix, but here's the bug fixes. Nothing big. Soft locking the game. Well, I guess that's pretty big, right? Yeah, this one particular thing was breaking the game. Um, Swiftling Lancer can no longer create itself. So Swiftling Lancer was just an infinite looping itself. That's kind of cool. Shadow Apprentice, Winds of War, Ram Stance, reduced cost of a unit which had its cost reduced. Fixed an issue where daybreak triggers from morning light was activating Leona's level up progression. Is it is it not supposed to? I guess not. Adds an error message when a player tries to move a challenge blocker. Discarding cards that can replace themselves wasn't allowing Jinx to level up to level 2. Fix an issue where encroaching mist. Every time I've seen an encroaching mist, they've had that Imperial icon. It takes a second, but they do get there. Fix an issue where a white circle was appearing in the center of the board for some tutorials. I haven't played a tutorial. I do play all the tutorials when they come down, but I haven't played one since the last update with Nar in them. Fix an issue causing players to crash while viewing art in the collection, which is sad. I actually like doing that. So, that's everything. That's all of it. That's the patch notes. That's the cool stuff. I am hyped for Path Champions 2.0. I'm going to do some deck building. I'll probably do deck building on stream Sunday. I am. Ah! I don't want to say I will and I won't. Keep an eye on my stuff. There is a definitive possibility for a Thursday night stream after 9 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. A definitive possibility. I will not make any promises, but I will not say that there's not a possibility that may occur. So thank you guys. You have a good day. I appreciate it. And have a good weekend. Enjoy the new set as it comes down. I know I will. And I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming out, and have a good week.